Wife and kids just left the house for the afternoon, so I'm going to do some flooring, and I thought I would take you along and show you kind of what I'm doing. So, let's do this. This is the flooring that I've already laid. It goes behind this like built-in right here, but it goes out that side and out this side, so I've stopped at about the same place on both sides, and now I have to come out here and connect that and this. It's got to come off both of these sides and tuck under here and be parallel all the way down, and then all the way down to the end of the wall. So this strip is what I'm doing today, mainly. I started cutting up the carpet. The underlayment that puts down right here is a 3-foot wide roll, and it's got to overlap to here. So I've got this a little bit more than 3 feet cut, and I cut this whole strip, and now I'm just going to roll it up and take it out. So I rolled it up and I cut it in half so the rolls aren't too big. Good note, if these are about 24 inches wide, you can put them by the curb, and most refuse companies will pick them up and throw them away for you, so you don't have to get a dumpster. And the next step is to take some old pizza and put it in the oven. Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Then you have to take up all of this foam, which is awful. It's probably got some adhesive under it. It tears very easily. And there's staples everywhere, and you have to get every single staple out. So instead of tearing this up like it is, I found that it's easier to actually take out the staples first, because you can see them really easily. So you just go around the perimeter, take out all the staples, and then you can just roll the whole thing up as one piece. I guess spent a few dollars on one of these like staple removal tools, but you could use anything. These work pretty well because you can get right underneath the staple and it just pops up. And now it's still stuck in there, but it's loose, which is really handy. It only took about 10 minutes to pull up all the staples. They stayed in there, it all rolled up as one piece, right there to throw away. Hey, Scout. Scout. This carpet's been replaced before, so there's like old, gross, sticky carpet. Junk. I don't know what you call this stuff. But anyway, it's left here. It's really gross. And from walking on this all day while working, it will get all over your shoes and everything will stick to your shoes. The next step is to stick pizza in your face. It was good. Then I gotta take up this thing with these. There, that's out. Easy enough. Next thing, you gotta take out all of these things, which are awful and dangerous. They're super sharp right there, but you can get them out pretty easily. The wood cracks super easy, so what you do is you put the bar right by a nail, give it one good whack, and then move on to the next one. And when you do that, the whole thing pulls out without the wood cracking. Watch this. I can't really show you hitting it because it's just me, but that was two hammer hits. That's all. And it's out. And then you just pick it up real carefully because it will bite you. Hate that stuff. I swept everything to one side and in little piles. And then you clean it up. There's a cat that lives next door named Boat, and Scout really wants to go get the cat. Don't you? Don't you, Scout? Don't you? You go get Boat? Alright, underlayment. Now the floor is all clean, the underlayment goes down. The sheets have to overlay by 4 inches, which is those lines, so you just line up those lines and unroll it. But I have to trim it and stuff, and you unroll it and fit it. You don't have to staple it down, but it makes it easier if it just stays in place. You have to go, I have an awful staple gun, so you have to go back and knock these in with a hammer, but at least it keeps the paper from moving. So this is the last 2 boxes of this pallet of wood. That's what it started like. That's how much I've already laid down. So I still have this pallet and that pallet to lay down. It's a lot of wood. By the way, when you have hardwood, you're supposed to let it acclimate to the room that it's going in or the house. And this garage is actually part of my shop, which is air conditioned. So this is acclimated. Just want people to understand that. Also, my dog sits in chairs like humans. What you doing, Scout? Okay, underlayment is down in that whole space. Now the next thing, I'm not going to be able to show you all this, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut pieces to fit into this doorway, into this, and into this doorway. But I'm not going to nail them all down yet. I'm just going to fit them in place because I have to try to get this outside line parallel with this line and parallel with this line. So I got to get all that in place to kind of tweak the adjustment before nailing. Got one doorway ready. Everything is cut and fit in there. None of these are nailed in until, like, I think this one's nailed in, but all of these are just pushed in place for now. Now I got to do the other side. I'm getting lots of questions, like lots and lots of questions about the lights that I showed yesterday down for the shop. I bought those that I have on Amazon. But I found them way cheaper on lightup.com, and I've ordered them, but I haven't gotten them yet, so I don't know if they're any good, but lightup.com. I just wanted to say that here rather than me like answering every single instant message that comes in from other people, because I can't do that. Lightup.com. I can't vouch for them at all. I got this piece put in. It's just sitting in there, but it's really a tight fit across the threshold. That room's going to be something different. Don't worry about that. Got these pieces in. Nothing's nailed, but everything fits. Started carrying it down. I'm adding pieces so that I can make sure everything stays in line, you know, to test fit all the way down here, and it lines up almost perfectly with these pieces. There's a little bit of play, so these pieces are going to have to twist just a little bit to try to get the seams all in the best shape, but I actually think it's going to work pretty well. Now I'm just turning on the compressor so I can use the nailer in this thing. It's really loud. I'm also in the background working on making these brackets for those lights I showed you earlier. That's pretty cool. And I'm just printing enough to try it out and hang one. And some people complain about 3D printers, like they're not real making, but whatever, dude. I have a robot making stuff for me in the background while I can work on other stuff. That's awesome. Those pieces back there, this one back, are nailed in. These two are just sitting in place, so I can align the pieces that have to go back under here. So I've got some set in there to make sure that everything can, just making sure that everything can lock together and stay parallel. And then I will drill through this tongue and drive some nails in to hold that one in place and then start working forward. Got to do that all the way down. So what I did here was add just a couple of nails. They're still sticking out, so I can pull them out if I need to, on each one of these back pieces, and I just used some other pieces to make joints to make sure everything was square and parallel all the way down to that one. So now all three of the boards that tuck under there have nails started in them, so now I'm going to pull all these out, finish those nails, and then start building out all the way down. And that's not going to be very interesting, so I probably won't show you much of that. But, and I also have people coming over to my house very soon, and they won't want to watch me Instagram. So, you may see some more photos of this later on. Thanks for watching! That is all nailed. That is all nailed and connected all the way to there. So now I just got to rip pieces to fit the rest of this, and then it's like smooth sailing after that. He's doing it again. I just walked upstairs and he's doing it again. What's up, buddy? I got to the corner and the third row. That means I can start using the nailer and really start moving.